welcome back. Today I'm in the car with Michael from Fire and Ice Coffee, and we're going to go and learn about coffee today and see what it's all about. What do you think? Go and check it out, mate.
Sounds like good and clean to me.
Right, I'll see you all there.
All day, sipping herbal in the morning just to feel okay. Had a dream, I was water just flowing through space till I landed on the record that my grandma would play. Talk sweet like jazz in the park after rain. What the grass smell green and the air feels safe. Put the phone on mute, let the silence explain. I don't need much, just a book in the brain. Used to chase things that were run from me. That was just...
Alright guys, and we're back. We're here at the roasting tiny house. Check this out. How good. Let's step on in and check it out. Coffee time, let's go. Going for the long blacks today, so we can really taste the coffee. What is this thing here that you just showed me?
Paragon nucleus, it helps extract the espresso in a better content. And you get more different, more subtle flavours, I think is the official description.
There we go. There you go, you learn something every day. Let's see what it's all about. Woohoo! Wow. I'm so used to having instant coffee. That's like next level.
I try.
This is going to make me not have milk anymore. Yeah, look at this big boss. Big roaster. There's the magic happening.
Smells grassy.
Roasting. Goes from the white that we just seen to that. Ooh. That's how you pour a shot. Right, we're going to sit down with a coffee and have a bit of a chat. So what made you start this?
What made me start this? Fire and I started probably back in 2016, I think it was. I had a previous career, 20 plus years, doing what I was doing, loved it, couldn't get enough of it, but was sick of having instant coffee at work.
Okay.
Basically that, and then I stumbled across making basically cold brew coffee. So it was like these little pouches I got of coffee, ground them all up in a spice grinder of all things, cut them in little individual baggies, put them in a Coke bottle, left them overnight, trained the next day, and then that was the start of Fire and Ice Coffee.
There you go.
Yeah,
There's always a story behind something, so that's pretty special. Just having a quick look at what next. Was it meant to turn into a business?
It was
when you started doing that.
When I first started doing that. So back in 2006, so 20 years ago, I had a monumental car crash. Huge amount of damage. It was not fun.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, I swore I'd never drive a car ever again. Yet, I raced the car around Eastern Creek like 3 weeks ago. Figure that out.
Yeah.
Then basically, I ever since the car crash, they said don't drink alcohol. I was never a big drinker. It wasn't a big issue. But what happened after that was I just drank lots of coffee. So I replaced alcohol with coffee, I suppose you could say, and then lots of things to try to retrain, the ability to actually speak, walk properly, things like that again. So it was a bit of a process. And then basically it turned into, okay, yeah, here's some cold brew coffee I've got. Did that. Then when I lost my job, and I think it would have been 2017-ish, maybe 18, I don't exactly know the year, that basically I was no longer required due to some slight altercation with a client, shall we say. And basically from that, I kind of sort of fell into coffee. And then I was trying to get beans, make cold brew. In 2020, my cold brew went down to Melbourne for the National Coffee Expo. Got a silver medal for that, man.
Oh wow, how good's that?
That was impressive. And then, 6 years later now, I couldn't get coffee anymore at one point, so I started roasting my own.
So here we are today. We're
Yeah.
still going strong. So there's a story behind it. Fire and ice. Alright. Okay, what's been the hardest part of this? Starting, all that type of stuff, the journey along the way?
So over 10 years, the hardest thing's been knowing that it's a good product. I've gotten lots of comments that people really like it, yet not being able to get enough sales to actually make any sort of living.
Okay.
Like, it's sort of, I'm close, I think I'm close. I'm just not at that point where it's actually sustainable enough yet.
Just got to keep that,
But just-
to keep climbing that mountain.
That's it,
Like any
yeah.
business guys, you just got to keep going. And Michael's a true testament here that he just kept going. Besides everything that happens in life, So, did you ever think about stopping? Besides all the stuff that's happened along the way. Or has that pattern always been there?
I think I've always been stubborn enough to try to do something. So before my previous life, I actually started a motorcycle clothing company, like trying to sell motorcycle clothing. Because I was sick of what was currently available. Imported stuff from America, spent a lot of money and didn't work out too well, but once again, I think I've always got this determination that I'm not going to give up. I will keep on doing the thing that I want to do.
That's amazing. Yeah,
Life's too short.
They're the stories you want to hear, right? Okay. All right. This is the big one. What makes your coffee different to everyone else's?
What makes a coffee different? Okay. First of all, I will custom roast your coffee for you. So if you tell me what you want,
There you go. You can make it happen.
I can try to produce some sort of flavour profile that may be close to that, or not. Then I've got things like I roast small batch only. I'm not a big scale roaster. Well, I've got lots of things here. I've only got technically, I think it's 4 beans at the moment. 4 beans that I use.
Can you run through some of the names of these beans?
Yeah, we've got, so as far as the beans I use, we've got Guatemalan, we've got El Salvador, Colombian, I have some Tanzania, I even have Colombian decaf.
Oh, all the decaf people out there.
Yeah, I do decaf. And with that, I've created a nice little blend. My main blend is called Elemental Blend. Working on my fire and ice sort of, background with that, and Elemental kind of sort of suited what I was doing at the time.
So there's a story behind the elemental.
The story on the Elemental works on the basis of the fire and ice coffee.
Yeah.
And the fact my passions are ice hockey and motorsport.
There you go. It speaks for itself.
And yeah, Elemental kind of fits now nicely. And before it was called Frost, and that was a slightly different bean arrangement and everything like that. Obviously, with things changing, availability of beans, because I'm not a big scale roaster, I can only get what they have available per se.
Okay.
I can get other suppliers and see what else is around, but the reality is I'm sort of limited with what I can get. Luckily, I was in Sydney on Friday, picked up another 69 kilos of Guatemala.
Ooh.
So, that should last me a little while. Considering it's a bean I don't use a lot of, it's quite good. But my next bean I think I'm going to have to get is El Salvadoran Colombian. I think by last count I've got about 40 kilos combined of that left. So I will probably need beans, I'd say, middle of the year maybe, if not before. And then just keep on basically trying to get coffee, which is very similar flavours to that. Hopefully I don't have to change the blend because that will be a nightmare for labelling. Because I've already got labels made up for Elemental. And yeah, we'll see what happens with that, but need to just try to figure out that. Plus, if I say I'm not like cold brew, which is more of a basic, very close to what the original coffee was, and I've still called it frost for that reason, to sort of keep it as its own little standalone thing.
I also heard there's a special day today for cold brew.
Yeah, National Cold Brew Day. Happy National Cold Brew Day. It's great. How good's that?
Everyone still loves cold brew on them warm days, and we've still got warm days here in Newcastle, so even having that option to have cold brew is still there. People can have it in their martinis, isn't that right?
Oh, espresso martinis, yeah, that's really good.
So yeah, we celebrate that today, and we celebrate a good coffee. So yeah, we'll keep on moving on to the last question. Where do you want to take this? Where do you see it being?
I see it as being well, hopefully can actually make a living out of it.
Obviously.
So that would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wish to provide people with a different coffee experience. Something that's a bit more unique, something that's a bit personal. I recently made a coffee for a podcast.
Yeah.
They said they wanted coffee. I said, okay, we can use your labels, fine. So if, people have a business or anything like that, they can reach out to me. I'll happily, have a chat with them.
So you sit down and you actually run through the different...
Run through what I've got, how I can roast them. I give them samples, they taste them.
I think like what he's saying is, learning the profile of the coffee so people understand. Like, I feel myself, because you all know that I love coffee, that coffee is just acceptable and everyone drinks it, but they don't understand the note behind the coffee and what actually goes into it. It's like a pub on the corner. They're just socially accepted. So Michael's vision is to give people that experience and understand the coffee. Like you said, you can do custom stuff. You want the right note, he can make it happen. So
yeah, and
that's pretty special.
Yeah, it's something. And also, by being tiny house based, I can do some experiences. Like, you can come check out the roast. You can come learn how to roast coffee.
Yeah. See,
you can come have a chat about just basic flavors.
Yeah.
We've got some flavor jars. You sniff them, aroma jars. You find that they taste. Find these notes, and you can find them in coffee. It's quite something that's not regularly done or that noticeable or that, and it's easy. Join the website, book a course. Simple as that. You and two other people.
So where can they find you? On the socials?
On socials, Fire Nice Coffee, Facebook, at Fire Nice Coffee, if that makes any sense. It's Fire and Ice Coffee, but
I'll pop all that stuff in the description and stuff for you guys. But yeah,
and yeah, it's just trying to give people a new experience.
Not just a cup of coffee.
Not just a cup of coffee. An appreciation of what coffee could be if they actually spent time to actually enjoy it. Because let's face reality, we're not here for a very long time.
No.
Coffee's nice. Enjoy good coffee, and done some sort of preliminary courses with some friends of mine, and they actually said that your unique selling point is that it's coffee your way. So how do you want your coffee? We can do it.
Yep. See, it's his way, and like a lot of businesses don't take that approach, and I think that's a good approach. The coffee's his way. He wants to share the passion and share it with you guys. So if you ever want to come and check it out, make sure you jump on the socials and hit him up. I'll put all that stuff in the description.
And also website fireandnicecoffee.com.au.
Yeah, fireandnicecoffee.com.au. There you go. So yeah, I think that's going to be a wrap for today's video. Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Thanks for sitting down and having a chat about coffee. So that's it.
It's what I do.
Yeah.
It's coffee.
You can sit here and talk coffee all day, so I think we're just going to sit back now and have a bit of chat about other things away from the camera. But thanks for sticking around, guys, and listening. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all on the next one. We're off to Sydney on Friday. Stay tuned for that one. I don't know what I'm going to film yet, but we're going to make it happen. All right, guys, we'll see you all later. Thank you.